I'm Wendy Kay of the Empaths, Ascension, and Psychic Stuff community, and I'm so glad you've chosen or have been guided to listen to one of our community shows. By continuing to listen, you agree to the terms found at wendyswisdom.ca/terms. So I'm thinking that there's going to be quite a few of you that might be interested in this show because I see so many posts where people are asking about seeing 1111. Now, the main question seems to be, what does this mean? I've always been confused as to why people have seen those numbers. I say that because I've never seen them. Okay, let me correct that. Of course, I've seen the numbers because they do exist. I've seen them on a digital clock, but they never come up as a message from spirit. Now, it's quite possible that people who have seen the numbers aren't actually getting the message either, but I wouldn't know that for sure because I didn't actually discuss the issue with those people. I'm sure it's no surprise to you that people read something online and then they experience whatever it is that they read, and they automatically believe that whatever happened to them was spiritual in nature. They think, oh, I've just read about that and it means blah, 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 blah. And they will apply it to themselves. When you're new to walking this path, that's actually a normal assumption to make. Let's face it, everything is exciting in the beginning or when you first get into this stuff, and it's really easy to get caught up in the mysticism of it all. I've done it, and I'm pretty sure that everyone else that I know who walks this particular type of path has done it as well. That excited feeling doesn't just last for a year. It usually takes, I'd say, 10 years, maybe even 15 years before the excitement tones down. If you've been seriously developing and communicating with spirit, then you probably have enough experience under your belt by that time to stop jumping on the bandwagon, so to speak. When you hear something that's new, you tend to then take it as a, that's kind of interesting, but not get overly excited about it because you know too much about spirit, how they work, how it doesn't work, and you're more willing to be patient and take your time to see how it all plays out. Now, I've even researched these numbers online to see what others were saying about it, but I didn't feel any connection to what was being shared. Now, that doesn't mean that what I was reading was wrong. It could be wrong. I'm not saying that it couldn't be wrong information. It's just more likely that the information wasn't applicable to my life or me at that time. Over the years, I've certainly had people get readings from me who have asked this very question. It wasn't something I just knew. I had to tune in and get information specific to the person. And by the way, the answers weren't always the same. So seeing a specific number might mean something different depending on the soul. All that being said, over the last few months, I have been seeing 1111 over and over and over again. Not just once or twice, but consistently. It was so obvious that I couldn't help but think to myself, what is going on here? It happens if I walk by the stove and I see the time on it. It happens when I pick up my phone and I look at it. It happens when I look at the clock on the television. It happens when I look at the clock on the computer. It just happens so often whenever I'm looking at a clock. And it can be 11:11 a.m. or it can be 11:11 p.m. Seriously, I've been communicating with spirit for over 35 years. I don't mean that I've been praying and just feeling like I was talking to someone. I don't mean that I was choosing a card after asking a question and then looking up the meaning of the card. I don't mean that I was sensing spirits and just talking to them and hoping that they would hear me. So I don't mean that I was looking for messages that I think, feel, or believe are from spirit. What I mean is that I have conversations and I'm speaking with my spirit guides or my spirit teachers, and I am actually saying something to them and they are responding to me. So there is an active and interactive communication going on between myself and someone who lives in the spirit world. After so many years of communication with those in spirit, it struck me as odd that I've never had the 1111 experience. It's something that had always confused me. Now, over the years, I've even spent some time studying numerology. When you walk this path, it's normal to look into all the different aspects of the metaphysical to some extent. I like numerology. I think it's interesting, and I'd be lying if I said that when I move into a new home, I don't check out what the numbers mean. I actually do. So I'm more than open to the concept of numbers and their meanings. Now, it appears that that number must be influencing my life in some way right now. Naturally, I'm now curious about what it means for me. So what did I do? I tuned in, of course, and I asked Spirit, why am I all of a sudden seeing 1111 all of the time? This was the channeled message that came through. Wendy, it is a time of change and a new life for you. It is significant change. You have gone through much over the last 30 years or more, but now the change is more dramatic than it has ever been, and it is new. All that you have lived in your life in this incarnation has been old information. You learned all the lessons and resolved all the karma before. The only reason you did it again in this lifetime was to gain the knowledge that was necessary for your future. Now, by the way, I had been told that before, so what was being told to me at that moment really wasn't any surprise to me, and it wasn't new information. So back to the channeled message. You are seeing 1111 because you are about to start new adventures. These are adventures that you as a soul have never had before. It is a new experience for you as a soul. You will see. That is why you are seeing those numbers now. So then I asked the question, what does 1111 mean for a soul who is seeing them in day-to-day living? I wanted to get a little bit more clarification. I know what I was told for me, but what about for everybody else who sees it? Here was the answer. It means that the soul is learning something new, something that it has never experienced before. It is new information, new lessons, new karma, karma that existed before, but that was not worked on. It represents new soul experiences, new beginnings, but not just the start of a new part of life, but a new soul experience. These lessons and experiences can advance a soul significantly and change the soul's vibration. You are being told to prepare for experiences that are new to you as a soul. It is an exciting time for any soul who is seeing those numbers. The number might not always mean it will be fun and exciting, especially if karma is involved, but whatever is experienced is always significant and new for the soul. So then I asked, is it only a soul that is learning new things that will see 1111, or will a soul that is not learning new things also see it? And here was the answer. Yes, but it must be consistent. Seeing it once or twice or even 3 times does not count as being given the message of learning new things. It would have to happen consistently over a period of time and will continue until the new lessons or experiences happen or start. Now, one of the answers that I have seen quite a bit in a group or in an article, one of the things that was said is that it means a spirit guide or teacher is just letting you know that they are around you. So I wanted to know if that was true. Would an angel or a spirit guide or a spirit teacher use 1111 just to tell you that they are around you? The answer to that was, it would defeat the purpose of using it for its true meaning. It is true that if you see it consistently over a period of time, it would be someone in spirit, such as a spirit guide or angel or teacher, giving you the message. but the message would be about new growth and experiences as a soul, and not just that they are around you. Seeing 1111 just once does not mean a guide would be around you. It is not how we in spirit who are positive and who have trained as guides use it. Okay, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So then I asked, which would be, I guess, the next natural question, does that mean that those who are not real guides, could they use it? When I'm saying not real guides, I'm talking about false guides, because I think if you've been listening to the shows and even, seeing it in the groups, there are now false guides that are out there, and you have to be really careful about who you are interacting with in spirit. So I asked, does it mean that those who are not real guides could use it? They are free to use it as they choose. It is up to the soul to be able to tell whether the message is true and real and coming from a positive divine being or not. Many false guides will use it in the days to come to try to get those who are starting their journey to connect and follow them. We cannot interfere, for how they use it is a free will choice. Okay, so be warned. If you see 1111 once or twice and you're thinking, oh, that means a guide is around me, and you try to talk to them and someone comes through and you're thinking, oh, this is my guide, make sure that you know the proper way to discern that that is actually your guide. Otherwise, you could be connecting to someone who is a false guide, and that would not be positive for your life path. So that's something to keep in mind. Then I asked, what message would you give to any person who is seeing 1111 many times over the course of a few weeks or months? This was his message. Get ready to have your life change in some way. It is not a small change. It will be a change that is significant, for it is new knowledge. It is wisdom or insight from the divine source of love that is giving you a heads up so you can rejoice in what is to come. Will the path be challenging? It is possible, because you are learning something new, but it does not mean it is going to be unpleasant. It depends on what it is that you as a soul are experiencing, and it also depends on your attitude. Many see events in their lives as negative, when in fact a change in attitude would make it a positive experience. Attitude can change many experiences in your life. If you allow fear to take over, a new experience can turn into something frightening. If you allow anger to take over, a new experience can turn into something unpleasant. You have a great deal of influence over your experiences and how they play out, or what you feel, so keep your thoughts positive. Do not allow fear to take over. Live in the moment, and you shall see the best results for acquiring your new knowledge. So if you're seeing 1111 consistently, it's time to get excited, because as a soul, you're being given an opportunity to raise your spiritual vibration. If this was a number that you saw years ago, take a few minutes to think about what happened just after you saw those numbers. Did something change in your life? Did you learn something new? You might just be able to pinpoint whatever that new knowledge or new experience was that you gained as a soul. For myself, I'm looking forward to whatever this change is. I'm certainly hoping that it is going to be one of the more pleasant experiences, although because it is new, I do expect there to be a little bit of an adjustment that has to go on. I will do my best to keep what I was told in mind as I move forward. I'll try and live in the moment and try to be aware of my thoughts, and if I hear myself going into any kind of negative frame of mind, I'll immediately try and turn it around into something that is positive so that I can bring about the best outcome. Thanks for joining me today. If you're not yet a member of the Empaths, Ascension, and Psychic Stuff community, head over to patreon.com/Wendy Kay to check it out. That's patreon.com/Wendy Kay. It's a great place to meet like-minded people and to share your experiences in a private area. I'm constantly sharing tidbits of knowledge to enhance your journey. I'm Wendy Kay, and remember to live in divine light and to breathe in divine love.